Hello students, today in Geography Population Part 2 we are going to learn the characteristics of population. Different composition means the different characteristics of the population, which means sex ratio, age and sex pyramid, population growth rate, life expectancy, age structure, literacy rate, standard of living, etc. etc. So let us see one by one composition of the population. In the population composition, the first one and important one we are going to learn about sex ratio. So children, what is sex ratio? When you say sex ratio, it is total number of female per 1000 males. So for every 1000 males, how many females are there? That is how we calculate the sex ratio. So if you see this graph, we can find here that blue color line is male population, whereas orange color line is female population. So in every decade we can see the increase in number of population, but the female population is lesser than that of the male population. Let us see the graph comparing both the countries, India as well as Brazil. So if we see, the question is asked to you from this graph, like you have to read the graph properly. You should know how to read the graph. If it is told to you that what is the number of population in 1971 of Brazil. So this is y-axis and the horizontal line is x-axis. On y-axis we have number of female population, whereas on x-axis we have years. So in 1971 we have to match, you have to take a ruler or scale and you have to keep it over here and see this line where you have to match it to the y-axis and see where it comes. It comes around 1010 people. Now 1010 female population. Okay. And here in India, if it is asked for 1971, how much was the female population? So here we need to keep a scale and we need to match to the y-axis. So y-axis, how much is the population? 930 people, 913 female population out of 100 male population. So if we compare both Brazil and India, we can see that in Brazil female have outnumbered males, whereas in India female have are lower than that of the male population, means male have outnumbered the female. What must be the reason behind this? The reason behind this is female feticide are killed. Why they are killed? Because the parents or the family, those who don't want girl's child, they go to the doctor and determine the sex, whether it is male or female sex. So if it is female, then that fetus is killed. So determining the sex is a crime, is a major crime in India. It is illegal. It is beyond the law, which if the person who is gone to determine whether it is male or female child, or the doctor who does this checking, both of them get imprisonment punishment. So children, you need to keep in mind that why this female fetus is killed. Okay, because it is told you as usual in every families, most of the families, whether it is a poor family or whether it is rich family, they don't want the girls, as they say that girls are going to go to other houses. So why we need girls? We don't need girls, and that is why most of the girls are killed. Because of the dowry, they have to give dowry. Dowry matlab dahej. So this particular, because of dowry system also, today girls or female population is reduced or they are killed. So we need to remember that we have to save girl, we have to teach girl. Beti bachao, beti padhao. So children, if we say that why we want girls, if there are no girls, then there would be no mother, sister, wife, and so on. Beyond that, the girls or the women can become a good or take good professions such as police, lawyers, teachers, doctors, and so on. So government has implemented a policy for the girl child. The girl child who is born in that family, the policy known as Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. This is an insurance policy for the girl child as she grows up till the teen age for her marriage or for her future learning or studies. She gets the money from government. So next important characteristics we have is age structure. So what is this age structure? When the entire population are divided into different age groups, it is called age structure. So children, we can see that this graph is something different type than that of the other graphs. You can see the blue color lines which are shown are male population, and pink color line which shows female population, and this is a graph of Brazil. Then we have again blue lines in this graph, and pink color blue lines indicates male population and females in pink color, and this is graph of India. So graph reading is also an important skills, because if you know to read the graph properly, then you will be able to answer the questions properly which are asked in the board exams. So this is y-axis and this is x-axis. On the x-axis we have the percentages of the males as well as females population, and on the y-axis we have the age groups 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19 and so on. So if we see here in the percentage we have 0 here, then male population 0 to 2, in between 0 to 2 we have 1, then 2, between 2 to 4 we have 3, then between 4 to 6 we have 5. Same way over here also. So if for suppose if the question is asked in a board exam, what is the percentage of age group of 0 to 4 years? So we can see that this is 0 to 4 year. This you have to match to this bar graph, and this blue color bar you have to match with the percentage. So what is the percentage here? Around, so about 3, so it is around 3.6, 3.5 to 3.6. Same way over here female population is also around 3.6, whereas in India we have more population, more 4 percentage or more than 4 percentage. Female population also more than 4 percentage. So we can see that we have, if we compare both the graphs, we can see that India and Brazil, we can find that more population of children is in India, and in Brazil population of children is less, but the older people's population is more. Whereas in India we have young people, more population of young people, as it is told in the previous chapters also, that we have India is a young country, or young populated country. So in India, if we see that we have three age structures or three age groups. First one is 0 to 15, that is dependent population. Children comes under this age group. Then we have 15 to 59, that is young population. They are productive population, they are working population, and therefore they are considered as independent population, means small children and old people rely or depend on them. Then next age group is 60 and above, is considered as dependent population. They are old people who all are dependent on young people. So as we all know, only some of the retired old people who gets pension, okay, they also sometimes are reliable or and are dependent on the young population. So we can see, nowadays we have seen in our day-to-day life that how the population, so you will come to know the three groups of population in India. So if we analyze this graph, while analyzing this graph, the graph shows the age group, okay, or age structure of both males and females in region. So it is called as age or sex pyramid. Sex means that males and female age group is shown in this graph. It shows the percentage of people in different age group on x-axis below. Age group is shown on y-axis as I had shown you. A class difference is 5 years. Means you can see here the class difference is how many? 5 years. So class difference is class interval. The pink lines shows female population while blue lines shows male population. So according to that graph, what we conclude is Brazil's population is slowly getting older. Then the number of children is more in India. The younger population is more in India. Thus, India has higher working population. Next characteristic we have population growth rate. If number of people die more, the growth rate will go down. There are two main reasons for increase of growth rate. That is increase in birth rate, and second one is decline in death rate. Decline means decrease in death rate. So population growth rate, what it is? What is population growth rate? Growth rate means it is a rate of growth of population. This growth rate depends on the birth rate and death rate. So it depends on increase or decrease of the death rate. Then only there will be growth rate of the population. Then what is birth rate? Number of births per thousand people. Death rate means number of death per thousand people. Then if birth rate increases, the population will increase. If there are more birth taking place in our country in that particular month or year, then the growth rate will automatically increase. If birth rate decreases, the population will gradually decrease. Means if the children are born and if they are died of different epidemics, or if they are not born at that year, only few number of population is born, then growth rate will gradually decrease. If death rate increase, the population will decrease. So here if the death rate because of bomb blast or pandemic or any other different situation, if the death rate increases, what will happen? Population will decrease. If death rate decreases, the population will gradually increase. Means if death rate are less, then population will again slowly increase. So if we see the graph of both Brazil and India, we see here that this line, vertical line, is a y-axis, whereas horizontal line is x-axis. Y-axis shows us percentage of growth rate, whereas x-axis shows the years. If it is asked to you what is the population of 1980 in Brazil, so number will not be given to you like this. I have put the numbers here according to years. The numbers will not be given to you. You have to do it with the help of ruler and match it with the y-axis. So whatever is the growth rate, suppose we have 1.8 percentage here. So see here, here like this, with the ruler you need to match to the y-axis and you should find out. Now I have found out 1.8 percentage. So you need to find out this way. Same way in India we have, for example, in 1980 we have 2.4 percentage. So here we need to match with this line with y-axis and we will find 2.4 number. So you have to write the answers this way. If we analyze this graph, both the graph of Brazil and India, what we see that the growth rate is declining. Here you can see that the growth rate from 1960 we have 3 percentage, then 1970 it declined to 2.3 percentage, then 1.8 percentage, 1.2 percentage and 0.4 percentage. A sharp decline, there is sharp decline or decrease in the population. Does it mean that children are not born? No. Does it mean population is not increasing? No, not that also. Children are born. Population is increasing. But at rate with which population is increasing is very, very slow. If in future, if graph line goes down, that means children are born, but the growth rate is even slow. It will take many years to show increase in population. So we have Brazil population 92 crores because from 1960 we have population decline. Here we need to keep in mind death rate also. What do we notice? Growth rate has been increased means population is added into India's population. From 1991, if we see 1991 onwards, it is declining. It is coming down. But till 1991, India added huge population. And therefore, what we noticed till 1991, India had huge population explosion to entire total population. Now, because of the government effort, the government took initiative to check that population growth rate does not increase. So therefore, from then growth rate has been declining. See here, you can see that population explosion there was huge population till 1881. Then afterwards it started declining or decreasing because of government's effort. Because they can ask you from which year the growth rate of India is declining steadily. So you have to answer from 1991. The growth rate is declining steadily. If we compare that in year 2000 in Brazil is 0.4. Let's see 2000 0.4 and in India we have 2% in 2001. So see, in Brazil we have 0.4 and in India we have 2%. Brazil has sharp decline. So analyze it. If we analyze that in 1991, okay, so we have huge population in that year. So what is the reason behind the population growth? So what is the reason? Awareness about advantages of small families, then population control measures, government schemes for smaller families. Government said that small families, chota parivar, sukhi parivar, would be a small families would be the blessings. If you ask your grandparents, they had 4 to 5 to 6 children. If they ask their parents, they had 10 to 12 children. So if you know the slogan Hum Do Hamare Do has been taken very seriously by the Indian people. So most of the parents have 2 children today. This awareness created big difference and which helped in decreasing the population of growth rate. Even in school curriculum also this population topic is introduced. Otherwise before it was not spoken openly. Government gives concession of fees up to third child. That is also one scheme or policy implemented to us. So from third child onwards, you have to pay fees. These measures have reduced growth rate in India. Decline of death rate. Now why there is decline of death rate? Because there is better facilities, good food, better facilities and good food. Earlier, as you all know, that there was shortage of food. Today also we see that we have adulteration in food and good food we have, that is organic food. Then we have better standard of living, okay, good standard of living. Then better medical advances, means medical facilities. There were many times when people would die of malaria, plagues, epidemic, pandemic like COVID-19 situation. Even in today's situation, we hear every day that many people die of pandemic. But we need to remember that recovery rate is also high. That is very good that media should concentrate. Death rate is low. In other countries, we have death rate more because they have more older people. We have even good education. So, Chota Parivar, Sukhi Parivar, these measures are taken by government. Every family, a planned family, every child, a healthy child. So you can see when the family is big, what are the problems. Where family is small, then we have less problem to face. Now in this graph, we can see life expectancy of Brazil and of India. Yes, but what is this life expectancy? Yes, life expectancy means the average number of people or a person born in a country is expected to live. So children, we can see here Brazil in 1960. How many years the people lived here? Till 54 age they lived. Then 1970, 59 years of age they lived in that country. Till then afterwards, if we can see the growth or the life expectancy of living of people increased year by year, and in 2016 we can see that life expectancy of people was 75 years. And if we see Indian graph, in India's country graph, 1960 we have 41 life expectancy. In 1970 we have 48 years of life expectancy. Here also in India we can see the increase in the life expectancy. So in 2016 we have 68 years of life expectancy. This means that we Indians live for 68 years on an average, but Brazilians live for 75 years. What could be the reason behind this? In developed countries, life expectancy is high. Hence, increase in life expectancy is an indicator of development. What does this mean? Children, that we can understand that our country is not developed country, it is developing country. That is why, because of different reasons, our life expectancy must be less than that of the developed country. In Brazil, in European countries, in America, if we see, the life expectancy of the people is higher than that of the developing countries because of the following reasons. So what are the reasons? As we all know that progress in the medical science, there is progress in the medical science. That doesn't mean that India do not have proper medical facility or proper medical science. We have it, but then also developed country has more and advanced technology in medical science. Even in India, infant mortality rate is high. Many of them die because of lack of proper nutrition. Low standard of living, good facilities, also surrounding may also be not clean for them. So 0 to 5 years of age group die at very early age. Infant mortality rate is high. Also, as you all know that even better standard of living is required, where we have poverty in India. That is a reason behind it, where only most of the 70 to 80 people, 80% of people have better standard of living, then better facilities. Okay, in developed country there are much more better facilities than that of India. And in India also, if we see, urban people have a better facility than that of the rural people. That also matters. Then literacy rate also matters. So literacy rate in developed country is much more higher than that of our country. Nutritious food. We have nutritious food. We get nutritious food, but today's children, as we all know, that they like junk food. Sandwiches, burgers, pizzas, all these are junk food which can make the children malnutrition, or the poor children, those who don't get proper food, they are also malnutritious, and because of malnutrition the many children die of very young age. Even today, as we see, there is adulteration in the food. If the adulteration means mixing different things in our original food. Okay, because of that also many illnesses have increased. Then good air and exercise. Good air and exercise, especially exercise, is given a lot of importance in developed country. In India we can see that you only see in your own houses. Do you exercise every day? No. Most of us, those who know the importance of exercise, we exercise, but most of the people don't do exercises every day. So that thing is there in the developed country. Even socio-economic development means in society, the development, or many people are poor, so they are socially backward, economically backward. Economically means money wise they don't have must not be having proper jobs or proper salary. but in developed country that is not a problem. So because of all this reason, what happens, life expectancy of people increases. Even also we have heard that accidental rate is high, especially in India. Road accidents we hear every day. We hear that this road accident happens every day, most probably on the highways. So that is why people at very young age in India die, and that is why life expectancy in India is less. So what is adulteration of food? As you have a list of adulteration, see in milk we can see that chalk powder also can be added, soap powder, hydrogen peroxide, urea. In in black pepper we can see that papaya seeds can be added. So all these are the food where the mixing is done, that is called as adulteration, which can decrease or which can not improve or enhance the health in the human beings. Even in the fruits and vegetables we can find that injections and the chemicals are injected in the fruits and vegetables, that also can harm our health. So the last characteristics we are going to see of literacy rate. So who is a literate? Anyone after the age of 7 who can read and write and understand is called a literate in India. So children, you see your own self. As you are in 10th standard, do you know to read, to write? Do you understand what you read and write? Do you know to calculate? So if you know all these things, that means that you are literate. If you don't know to read properly, to write properly, and if you don't understand anything of reading and writing, then you are illiterate, still illiterate. So let us see the graph of both Brazil and India. If we see here in 1981, the literacy rate was 74.6 percentage. In 1991 we have 80 percentage. In 2001 we have 86.4 percentage. In 2011 we have 91.4 percentage, and in 2016 we have 92.6 percentage. So in India, let us see how much percentage of education or educated people were there. In 1981 we had 40.8 percentage population were educated. 1991 48.2, 2001 61 percentage, 2011 69.3 percentage, 2016 72.2 percentage, where Brazil in 1981 they had 74.6 percentage. In India we have in 2016 lesser than that. Okay, that means we can see how literacy rate is there in Brazil. So let us analyze the map or the graph map which we have studied. So children, if we analyze the graphs of both the country, what do we notice about literacy rate of Brazil and India? Literacy rate of Brazil has always been high. Moreover, literacy rate was constantly increasing since 1981. Its literacy rate now is 92.6, which is very high. As compared to Brazil, India's literacy rate has been very low in the past. Though the rate has been on a rise, it's been very gradual. Even now, the literacy rate is not too good, as it's only 72.2 percentage. So children, we know that in compared to Brazil, India's literacy rate is very low. And in Kerala state, we can find 92 percentage of literacy, like Brazil. But in other parts of country we have low literacy rate. So here we what is the reason behind this, we'll find out. So children, if you see literacy rate in India and compare male and female literacy rate, female literacy rate is lower than that of the male literacy rate, and this is average. This middle line is the average literacy rate of a country. Why it is so that girls are not given opportunity to do the education? That we'll see by asking the questions or reasons behind it. So what could be the reasons for low literacy rate in India? It must be the poverty, it must be the women that they are not getting given chance to go for education or to go to study in the school. Even if the parents are illiterate, they don't feel that importance of education, and that's why the children are not sent to the to the school. So these are many reasons why, because the literacy it is low literacy rate in India. Then second question is, why is literacy needed? Why it is needed, children? As you all know that education liberates us, education empowers us. In India especially, women are facing many social evils and domestic violence. So if there are education, these if female or women are taking proper education, it empowered them, they can seek for justice for themselves. As you all know, literacy opens up our mind, it gives us broader perspective in our life, it helps us in development, it helps us in research, and also raising standard of living. Many social evils are faced by people, so all that can be eradicated through literacy. Next question we have, what are the measures taken by Government of India to improve literacy rate in India? Children, we have public schools which gives us free education, free and compulsory education. We have even some private schools which are aided schools which are providing free education, free and compulsory education. Even government has given the provision or implemented a scheme of midday meal so that children would attract to come to school. It was started by government. This was the efforts of government. Even then, lot of concessions are given by government, like different types of scholarships are given by government. Scholarship to economic backward children, various scholarships are there. So we don't know of this policy or of this scholarship. If you do well in your 10th standard boards and get 75 percentage and above, that is up to 80 percentage, you get around 15,000 in cash from the government as a scholarship. And if you get 90 percentage and above in your 10th standard, you get 20,000 rupees in cash as a scholarship. So these all are some ways of boosting education in our country. As we all know that Kerala, we have 92 percentage of population. There also government has implemented such schemes and facilities to the children. So here, which is the most literate state in India? We have Kerala with a 92 percentage, as I told you earlier. The next question, is there any relation between low literacy rate and low standard of living in India? Yes, children, we all know, if you check literacy rate of cooks and maids working in your homes or in somewhere in hotels and other places, you will come to know or you will understand that because they did not get any opportunity for education, they are working as laborers, as cooks, as maids, and so on. So we need to remember that they did not get an opportunity. If they would have got the opportunity, they would be teachers, doctors, lawyers, and many more like us. So we cannot look down upon them. We need to respect these people. So this is a midday meal for the primary classes. We have this much amount of meal to be given, whereas in upper primary classes we have the government scheme of giving the grams in grams percentage of meal. So this midday meal scheme was started by government so that children would come and take education. Children, I hope you all have understood this chapter very well, and please read the lesson and complete your notes. Thank you.